Blue Ivy is proof that Beyonce mothered because only Beyonce would have a 13-year-old who manages the entire family business. No, because this Virgo and Capricorn duo is unstoppable.
When Beyonce says, "You take care of my daughter and coach her up."
That part in the movie, I was even shocked.
I don't know if you've heard, but there's a rumor making the rounds claiming that Blue Ivy is allegedly being prepared to step into Beyonce's supposed role in a secret Hollywood circle. People online have been sharing all kinds of theories, even though none of these claims have been verified. What's even more surprising is that, according to the rumor, one of her former coaches has supposedly hinted that her future was carefully planned from the very beginning. At first, it seemed like Blue was simply under pressure to excel at dancing and maintain a polished public image. But now, these online stories are pointing to something much more mysterious happening behind the scenes. And that's exactly what we're going to explore. Okay, everyone knows Blue Ivy is often treated like entertainment royalty, not just by her family, but by a lot of the public too. Her appearances are rare, carefully planned, and usually happen alongside Beyonce at major events, big performances, fashion campaigns, or high-profile red carpets. Because she's seen so rarely, some people online have started saying it looks like she lives a very protected life. Whenever she's spotted in public, she's often surrounded by security and quickly escorted away, leaving little chance for casual interactions. That has led to plenty of speculation that she has very little privacy and spends most of her time within a closely managed circle. Allegedly, one of the first waves of online speculation started during the Renaissance tour when Blue Ivy joined the stage as a performer. She was only 11 years old, and many people commented on how unusual it was to see someone so young performing in front of such massive crowds.
She's a witch. She's a very powerful witch. She's heavy into African spirituality. She is a daughter of, I believe, either a daughter of Oshun or Yemaya. I go back and forth. I feel like it's Oshun though, but if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But nonetheless, she's a high-ranking witch.
Around that time, rumors also spread online claiming she had gone through an extremely demanding training process before appearing on stage, although those claims have never been verified. Beyonce is widely known for her strong work ethic and attention to detail, so fans naturally assumed rehearsals would be taken seriously. Some online discussions suggested Blue spent long hours practicing choreography to be ready for such a high-profile performance, while others pointed out that it's impossible to know exactly what her schedule was like. Either way, many people remarked that carrying that level of responsibility at such a young age seemed like a lot. There were also reports from unnamed sources claiming that growing up in one of the world's most famous families comes with constant expectations and a very structured lifestyle, though these stories remain unconfirmed. Some observers believe that balancing public appearances, rehearsals, and family responsibilities could make it difficult for any young person to enjoy a more typical childhood, while others see her performances as a sign of confidence and talent.
It's been 10 years.
10 years.
How does it feel being back?
It feels surreal because my daughter's here.
And Blue looks so beautiful.
She looks so beautiful. This is it's incredible to be able to share it with her, and I think she looks so incredible.
She looks so beautiful. I'm like, we could learn some red carpet tips from Blue.
Absolutely.
The way she's posing, I'm like,
she was ready.
She was ready.
She is ready.
A lot of people online joke that Blue Ivy acts so mature that she's practically Beyonce's manager. The meme really took off after she was seen encouraging her parents to settle down during the Grammys when she was very young. Beyonce even released a hoodie referencing the Blue Ivy management joke, and Tina Knowles has playfully called Blue the manager of the family too. While many people see it as harmless fun, others wonder if the jokes reflect how much responsibility comes with growing up in such a famous family. Some critics believe that being in the spotlight from such a young age could create pressure to seem more mature than other kids, although there's no way to know what her day-to-day life is really like. The conversation becomes much more dramatic when internet rumors take things much further. Some social media posts have pushed unverified theories claiming Blue Ivy is being prepared for a special position within the entertainment industry, with some even pointing to supposed comments from a former coach. However, there is no credible evidence supporting those claims, and they remain online speculation rather than established fact. Of course, Beyonce has been the subject of countless rumors over the years, and many of them have spread widely across social media. One story that often gets mentioned involves former bandmate Kimberly Thompson, who filed legal paperwork that included a number of unusual allegations. Those claims attracted a lot of attention at the time, but they were not established as fact.
My beauty guru and my manager, Miss Blue Ivy Carter, has instructed me that I needed to dye my eyebrows because they have little gray streaks. And so that's what she's doing, and I can't wait to see the end results because right now I look like Dracula or somebody.
Kimberly also made several other accusations involving her personal life and career, but those allegations remain unproven and have been widely disputed. Because of that, it's important to separate public claims from verified information. Over the years, other internet personalities and former associates have also shared their own theories about why Beyonce and Jay-Z have remained so successful. These stories continue to circulate online, but they are largely based on speculation and personal opinions rather than confirmed evidence. By the way, MIA has also spoken publicly about her experiences with the music industry and has shared criticism of Roc Nation over the years. She has made a variety of claims and expressed her personal views about the business and some of the people involved. Those statements received a lot of attention online, but many of the allegations have not been verified.
The girl talked.
Oh, okay.
The girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged.
When Blue Ivy was born, the internet also exploded with all kinds of conspiracy theories. People on forums and social media tried to read hidden meanings into her name, creating elaborate stories and symbolic interpretations that quickly spread across the web. Some posts even claimed her name contained secret messages or stood for different phrases, but there's never been credible evidence to support those ideas. Even so, those theories continue to pop up in online discussions, leading some people to build even bigger narratives around her family. At the end of the day, these remain internet rumors and speculation rather than established facts. As a matter of fact, some people online claim that Blue Ivy's appearance around the Met Gala carried a deeper meaning, saying it was filled with hidden symbolism. Those theories quickly spread across social media, with viewers trying to interpret every little detail, even though none of these ideas have been confirmed. One topic that got a lot of attention was Beyoncé's outfit. At first, some people thought it resembled the Statue of Liberty. Later, others suggested it may have been inspired by an artwork called The Visitor by Louisiana Creole artist Carolyn Darieux. The artwork features a striking skeletal figure at a doorway, and many art fans interpret it as representing life's fragile nature and the arrival of an unexpected presence. When people compared the artwork with Beyoncé's Met Gala look, some believe the similarities were intentional, especially since the event's theme encouraged bold artistic expression and dramatic fashion choices. From there, online theories grew even bigger, with some claiming that Blue Ivy's presence beside her mother had symbolic meaning.
Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her while she was asleep. Snacking on his bed. Some people fat. And guess what? They wouldn't give her a restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work.
Still, these interpretations are based on speculation and personal opinions rather than verified facts. Some people online also focused on Blue Ivy's outfit, pointing to a gown and trying to assign symbolic meaning to it. Others noticed that her shoes appeared to coordinate more closely with Beyoncé's look than with her own outfit, leading to speculation that it represented following in her mother's footsteps. Some viewers even commented on Jay-Z's formal style, adding their own dramatic interpretations of the family's appearance, even though those ideas are entirely subjective. The conversation became even more sensational when social media users pointed to someone described as a former coach who supposedly made claims about Blue's future and the expectations placed on her. However, those statements have not been verified, and there is no public evidence confirming them. It's also possible that the rumors grew through online speculation rather than first-hand facts, so they should be treated with caution. That said, stories like this tend to take on a life of their own once they start spreading online. One person shares a theory, another adds a new detail, and before long, people begin treating speculation as if it were established fact. That's exactly what happened with the claims surrounding Blue Ivy, as countless videos and posts started connecting unrelated moments into one massive narrative. Supporters of these theories often point to carefully planned public appearances, high-profile performances, and the family's private lifestyle as proof that something unusual is happening behind the scenes. Others completely disagree, arguing that those same details can easily be explained by the realities of growing up in one of the world's most famous families, where security, privacy, and carefully managed events are simply part of everyday life. Then another claim began making the rounds online, with people insisting that someone from Blue's past had inside knowledge and was ready to reveal what really went on behind closed doors. That allegation quickly became the center of attention as more people started repeating it.
But it's obviously they've been controlled by Satanism. I mean, I'm not really scared to say that. We all know Luciferians, Freemasons, and all occult knowledge that was up from Egypt have now surfaced itself in American society. And if you actually dig through the raps, like as I have, before it was all about partying, popping bottles. But when you listen to it again with a new ear, obviously they're not serving the same Most High God that I am.
According to those online posts, the person supposedly described Blue's schedule as being far more demanding than most people would expect. The claim suggested that nearly every public appearance, rehearsal, and major event was carefully planned well in advance. However, there is no verified evidence supporting those descriptions, and none of the allegations have been confirmed by reliable sources. People repeating the story argued that this level of planning wasn't just about preparing for performances or protecting a public image. Instead, they claimed it reflected a much bigger long-term strategy for shaping how Blue would be seen by the public. Critics of those theories, however, say that's a huge leap, and the children of globally famous celebrities often have tightly managed schedules for privacy and security alone. What kept the rumors alive was the way every new appearance sparked another round of speculation. Fans and commentators began revisiting old interviews, red carpet moments, and performance clips, searching for details they believed supported the story, while others insisted those moments were being taken out of context and connected in ways that weren't supported by the available facts. As more people dug into the story, they also started analyzing old interviews and public comments from Beyonce and Jay-Z, trying to find clues that matched the theories they had already accepted. Even ordinary parenting remarks or conversations about discipline, hard work, and setting high standards were pulled into the discussion and given much bigger meanings than they originally had. Others pushed back, pointing out that successful performers often talk about dedication, preparation, and professionalism, especially when it comes to major productions. They argue that expecting rehearsals and careful planning isn't unusual in the entertainment world, particularly for a family that has spent years under constant public attention. Still, the speculation didn't stop there. Some creators claimed that the family's highly private approach only encouraged more curiosity because people naturally try to fill in the gaps whenever very little personal information is available. Without verified details, though, many of the stories circulating online rely on assumptions, anonymous sources, or interpretations that can't be independently confirmed, leaving plenty of room for debate as new claims continue to surface.
And that's what makes us enemies, that I stand for a completely different doctrine, a completely different nation, and a completely different truth than he does. I don't have any materialism attached to my spirit or soul anymore. I don't have fornication attached to my spirit anymore. I mean, I just got engaged July, so my life is completely different from how I was with women in the early 2000s. And I think that is the difference in itself of being involved with Rockaware has made me see something completely different and knowing who his allegiance is.
Another detail that kept coming up was how closely people watched Blue Ivy whenever she appeared in public, from the way she carried herself to her facial expressions and interactions at events. Every moment was analyzed by viewers who believed they could spot hidden messages or signs that supported their favorite theories. Others argued that this kind of attention says more about internet culture than it does about Blue herself. Growing up in one of the most recognizable families in entertainment means even ordinary moments can be turned into viral discussions, with countless people assigning meanings that may not have been there in the first place. Some commentators also question whether it's fair to place so many expectations on someone who has spent most of her life in the public eye. While rumors continue to circulate about what her future might look like, there is very little verified information about her personal goals or the path she actually wants to take. That uncertainty has left plenty of room for online speculation, especially whenever a new appearance or major family event captures everyone's attention. One thing that often gets overlooked is how quickly online rumors can build momentum once enough people start repeating the same story. A single post can turn into dozens of reaction videos, breakdowns, and comment threads, with each version adding another layer that wasn't part of the original claim. That's why some viewers have encouraged taking a closer look at where these stories actually come from. Many of the most dramatic claims trace back to anonymous posts, unverified screenshots, or creators repeating what someone else had already said rather than first-hand evidence. As those stories get shared over and over, it becomes much harder to separate speculation from information that can actually be confirmed. At the same time, curiosity hasn't disappeared. People continue comparing public appearances, interviews, and major events, hoping to understand what life is really like behind the scenes for one of entertainment's most famous families. But with so much of that family's private life kept out of the spotlight, many questions remain unanswered, leaving plenty of space for even more theories to emerge as the story continues. Another reason these stories have lasted so long is because almost every major appearance by the family ends up being examined frame by frame. Whether it's an award show, a concert, or a fashion event, people online look for tiny details they believe carry a hidden meaning, from clothing choices to body language, and even where everyone is standing in a photo. Others see those interpretations very differently. They argue that celebrity stylists, photographers, and event organizers carefully plan these appearances for visual impact, and that doesn't automatically mean there's a secret message behind every decision. In many cases, a dramatic outfit or coordinated look may simply be part of the creative direction for the event. Even so, every fresh appearance seems to inspire another round of theories, with different creators offering completely different explanations for the very same moments. Some believe the patterns are too consistent to ignore, while others think people are connecting unrelated events simply because they're looking for a larger story. That difference in perspective has become one of the biggest reasons the debate continues from one public event to the next. As people continued looking into the story, another topic kept coming up over and over: just how much of Blue Ivy's future has already been planned. Some online commentators believe she's following a carefully organized path, pointing to her appearances at concerts, major award shows, and fashion events as signs that she's gradually becoming more comfortable in the spotlight. Still, there's no verified evidence showing that any long-term plan exists beyond what the public has already seen.
Met Jay-Z and I signed to Rock Nation. The first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have got plastic surgery. People make it, they all can turn around and thank Beyonce because that's it. And enough is enough. Can come in for everyone now.
Others have a much simpler explanation. They argue that it's completely natural for the child of two global entertainers to be introduced to that world little by little, especially if she enjoys performing and has the support of her family. From that perspective, appearing on stage or attending major events doesn't automatically point to anything unusual. The biggest challenge is that very little is known about what Blue herself wants for the future. Because she rarely gives interviews or speaks publicly, people often fill in the blanks with their own assumptions. Some imagine she'll eventually build a career in entertainment, while others think she may choose a completely different path once she's older, leaving plenty of unanswered questions as new rumors continue to surface. Another point that keeps surfacing is how differently people interpret Blue Ivy's confidence whenever she's on stage or at a public event. Some viewers see a young performer who has become more comfortable with each appearance, while others believe that level of confidence must come from years of intense preparation. Since the family has shared very little about her routine, both sides are largely relying on their own interpretations rather than confirmed information. Some entertainment commentators have also noted that children raised around the music industry naturally become familiar with rehearsals, cameras, and live audiences much earlier than most people. Growing up in that environment could make public performances feel more normal, even if they seem extraordinary from the outside. Even with those explanations, online discussions continue to focus on whether every milestone in Blue's life is carefully planned or simply the result of growing up in a famous family. That's why each new appearance is immediately compared with older ones, as people search for patterns they think they've spotted. The more those comparisons spread across social media, the more attention shifts toward one question that keeps coming up. What role, if any, will she choose to take in the entertainment world as she gets older? At the same time, there are people who believe the biggest mystery isn't Blue Ivy at all, but the way the public reacts whenever she makes an appearance. Because she has spent most of her life away from interviews and social media, almost every photo or performance becomes the starting point for brand new theories. In many cases, the lack of official information allows speculation to fill the gaps. Others argue that this level of attention comes with being part of one of the most recognizable families in entertainment. Every gesture, outfit, and public moment is viewed through a different lens depending on who's watching. Some see carefully managed celebrity branding, while others believe they're looking at something much deeper, even when there's no verified evidence to support those conclusions. One detail that keeps resurfacing in online discussions is the idea that people close to the family know more than they're saying. Various posts have claimed that former associates or industry insiders have hinted at behind-the-scenes stories, but those claims remain unverified and often rely on anonymous sources or secondhand accounts. Even so, those rumors continue to shape the narrative as people search for the next piece of the puzzle. One reason these rumors have remained so persistent is that they're constantly being repackaged with new evidence whenever Blue Ivy makes another public appearance. A photo, a performance, or even a brief interaction can quickly become the subject of countless videos claiming to reveal details that most people supposedly missed. In reality, many of those interpretations are based on personal opinions rather than verifiable facts.
And even Adele, when she gets an award, she thanks Beyonce. Oh, I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself in swimming goop, in black goop, and can like wear devil horns, can sell a record. But that's all be a witch, all be that, all of that.
Another pattern people have noticed is how different creators often reach completely opposite conclusions while looking at the exact same footage. One person might describe a moment as a sign of confidence and experience, while another presents it as proof of something much more complicated. That contrast shows just how much perception can influence the way public events are interpreted. Meanwhile, others believe the simplest explanation is often the most likely, that Blue Ivy is growing up under extraordinary public attention, where every milestone naturally attracts headlines and intense scrutiny. Even with that perspective, questions continue to circulate about what her future might look like, especially as she becomes more visible at major entertainment events and takes on new opportunities in the public eye. As the speculation continued, another discussion started gaining attention: whether growing up under constant public attention leaves room for a normal childhood. Some people believe Blue Ivy has experienced opportunities that very few people ever will, while others wonder if that same level of visibility comes with sacrifices that aren't obvious from the outside. Since so little is known about her private life, much of that conversation is built on assumptions rather than confirmed information. Supporters of the family also point out that privacy has always been one of Beyonce and Jay-Z's priorities. They argue that limiting public access and carefully choosing when Blue appears at events could simply be a way of protecting her from the intense spotlight that follows every member of the family. Even with those differing opinions, one thing is clear: almost every public appearance sparks fresh conversations, with people comparing old moments to new ones in hopes of finding a larger pattern. Whether those patterns actually exist or simply the result of internet speculation remains a matter of personal interpretation, and that debate continues as new claims and theories keep emerging. The Carter family is also well known for valuing privacy, and reports over the years have suggested that people working closely with them are often expected to keep private matters confidential. Because of that, it's easy to see how stories from alleged former employees can quickly grab attention online. At the same time, it's impossible to know the full picture, and claims from anonymous or unverified sources should always be treated carefully. It's entirely possible that some of these stories come from misunderstandings, personal opinions, or people sharing their own interpretations rather than confirmed facts. That's why it's important to separate internet speculation from information that can actually be verified. Now it's your turn. Do you think these online theories are reading way too much into ordinary events, or do you think there's a reason people keep talking about them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends so you don't miss our next deep dive into the biggest stories making waves online.